Mangalam Bhagwan Veero Mangalam Gautama Prabhu.
Jai Jinendra and welcome to Mangalam. Today we bring to you a very special episode about YJA conventions. This year's convention is coming up in July 4th weekend. The last convention in 2006 was attended by more than 700 young Jains. This year we are expecting to exceed that number. As you know, YJA conventions are educational and entertaining. It's a fun way to meet your peers, interact with them, network with them, and learn the Jain religion at your own pace as you wish. This year's theme is Generation Jain, where they want to give you the understanding of Jain religion, how you understand, how much you practice, and how you would like to have that in your life. You decide. And they have a lot of exciting programs this year. So if you have not registered, all the young Jains out there, please go ahead and do so as soon as possible. Don't be left out. And for today's episode now, please enjoy the show. Thank you.
Jai Jinendra, parents, and hello, my Jain brothers and sisters. My name is Parth Savla, and I'm the West Coast Regional Coordinator for YJA, Young Jains of America. Now I'm sure by now you've seen a lot of promotional stuff about the Jain Convention coming up in July. Well, consider this a message from us, the organizers, to you, the Jain youth, adolescents, young adults, and parents. As you know, this July 4th weekend, from July 3rd through July 6th in Chicago, there'll be over 700 youth gathered from all over the world. High school students, college students, and post-college students will have their own individual tracks of sessions. Over 3 full days, there will be 130 different sessions, featuring a keynote speaker such as Dr. Will Tuttle, who is a former Zen monk and has received his PhD from Berkeley, speaking about creativity, intuition, and personal connection, to scholars from within the Jain community, Gurudev Chitrabhanuji, Pramodaben Chitrabhanu, as well as some of the Samijis coordinating the yoga and meditation sessions in the morning. We also have several organizations coming in from outside the Jain community, such as SALT, South Asian Americans Leading for Tomorrow, to Where Peace Lives, facilitating the first ever mural project.
Your reactions at the convention?
I think the convention is a really good idea because you get to meet a lot of Jains, and there's a lot of Jains around our area, you know, because there's a lot of people from New York, there's a lot of people from Massachusetts, New Jersey, California, so you get to meet a lot of people without the United States, you know, and then it's all like within the same age group, so you make a lot of new friends, you know. Like you learn a lot about the religion, like that stuff that you didn't know. You go to discussions and stuff like that. And like today, we had a discussion period, so we talked for about an hour and a half about Jain morality, questions like that. And people might have questions that other Jains might be able to answer. So we like elaborate ideas, stuff like that. So we all get an idea of Jainism, you know, what it is. And that way you make friends also, maybe like long-term friends, you know. Like you might have a friend in California. Sometime you go to California, give him a ring, just hang out, you know. Like every now and then you might just call, you know, something like that. Have friends over online, you know, call on the phone, anything, you know. So it's just a really good convention in general.
Thank you very much.
I've been coming here past couple of years. I came in 2002 in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, So that's where I started, and I went came back 2 years ago in the Bay Area, and now I'm back here. It's a lot of fun. It's like very rare times I get to meet my Jain friends because, you know, there's very few Jains in the U.S. and I mean, you get to hang out, like learn about more of our religion, not just, like I learn a lot from my family and everything because I'm very family oriented back home. And, but I learn more and I get to like interact with more kids, students of my age and everything like that.
What's something new that you've learned here today?
I learned a lot about karma these couple of sessions here, so and how it links to DNA and diseases like that. We related science and karma and how, because science doesn't explain everything, so we try to use Jainism to explain science and some stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Play in your life.
Jainism is really important to me. Like, I practice it almost every day. And, like, I think Jainism is a way of life, so wherever I go, I can preach it, and hopefully other people will learn from it as well.
What was your favorite seminar?
Powerful Relationships. Serrano Kelly, he's an African-American, and he taught us about different things about your own life and how if you want to ever accomplish anything, you have to do it now because the past is too late and the future never comes.
Thank you very much.
My name's Neil Vora.
And why are you here?
I'm here at YJ because we're running the convention this year, and YJ is just a great experience to learn more about my religion, Jainism, and get some insight and meet some awesome people from around the country.
What was your favorite seminar and why?
So far today was a seminar in Anekantad led by a college student. It was just good because it was modernizing Jainism and simplifying it down and just a realistic way to keep it alive in America.
How significant of a part does Jainism play in your life and why, and how do you use the elements in your daily life?
I mean, Jainism is definitely a huge part of my life. Obviously, I'm vegetarian, but beyond that, a lot of my beliefs, you know, like non-violence, non-possessiveness, non-absolutism, they just guide a lot of my moral principles and things like that.
Thank you very much.
It's been great. We had Garba the first night, and it was amazing. The music was so good, and everyone was dancing the whole night. And tonight's the dance competition. And the sessions are really interesting too. A lot of things that you'd never think of before. So it's been a lot of fun.
What was your favorite session and why?
I think my favorite session was I took this one where they asked, was Gandhi Jain? And it just went through his life and a lot of the people he met and how he adapted to a lot of Jain beliefs and a lot of other religions also. And it really just opened up my mind to like how all religions are really mostly the same values and beliefs, but they're just basically called different things. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Herschel Gandhi from Las Vegas, Nevada. I had a great time at YJA Convention 2006.
I'm Hardik Gogri from Southwick, Massachusetts. I think this was a great experience, and I've met a lot of new friends, and it was a good time.
What was your favorite part about the convention?
The dances and like everything was very informal. We learned a lot, and yeah, it was a good time.
For your tax-free donations, suggestions and comments, please visit mangalamshow.com. Welcome back to Mangalam. We had talked to the YJ board from last year's convention. As you know, a lot of planning and consideration goes into organizing this kind of convention. So we wanted to talk to them and find out what it took. And here are their views and their challenges. Please listen to them. And the same thing goes on in this year's convention. So as you know, a lot of efforts are put in by our youngsters. So please enjoy. Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with the executive board of YJA. Let's hear a little bit about what it took to plan.
Hi, my name is Buddy Cheda. I'm head of security for YJA.
Hi, my name is Tanmay Gosalia. I'm head of social programming for YJA.
Hi, I'm Niyati Mehta. I'm head of hospitality for YJA.
Hi, my name is Janie Sava. I'm working on social programming.
So, how long did it take to plan this convention?
It took about a year to plan the entire thing.
So what was the hardest part through the organizing time period?
The hardest part was the few days prior to convention, making sure that everything was set and that we had everything ready to go.
Has this convention met your expectations?
Yes, it definitely has, especially the night events. They've exceeded my expectations.
Thunmei, what made you want to take a leadership position at YJA?
My Jain community has been a big part of my life, and I wanted to, give back to it, and this is the best way to represent the Boston area, which is why I wanted to bring the convention here.
How many previous YJA conventions have you attended?
I've attended the last 4 YJA conventions.
What are some improvements that you would see for next year's convention?
I think one thing which we can do is get more people to come here.
So for you, what was the most successful part of the convention thus far?
Most successful part of the convention was definitely last night's dance competition and exhibition show. We had some great acts come out like Karmasi, Sandeep, they're all on Ruckus Avenue Records, and we had an amazing dance performances last night, so overall it turned out really well.
Hi, I'm here with Chintan Shah, one of the co-chairs of YJA. So how long did it take you to plan this conference?
Wow, well, we started the planning about 1.5 years ago. And since the previous convention, actually 2 years ago, when there were local people from Boston interested in the convention, we decided that we wanted to bring this to a great location on the East Coast since it hasn't been here in a few years. So since then, we've been planning the programming, some of the social events, as well as which speakers we'd like to invite. So,
what was probably the hardest part of planning this conference?
I think the hardest part was determining what our focus should be. You can have an event like this and you can put together a specific focus, or you can make it more general, and I think we wanted to make it something that young people could really emphasize and take something away from. So we, after a long kind of grueling discussion, a lot of debate, we came up with My Life is My Message.
What motivated you to take this leading role at YJA?
Well, I'm a young person from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we have a community of about 45 to 50 Jain families. And in 2000, I had actually submitted an email to that YJA committee and asked them the question about something. Well, my email got mixed up and I ended up on the election pool as a candidate. So I thought it was really great and applied. And after 14 telephone interviews, I was elected somehow, miraculously. And I got involved on the YJA board. And by 2002, I had become co-chair and helped out with the 2002 convention in New Jersey. And since then, just had a great time. I've met people from all over the country and definitely wanted to continue the experience again.
That's great that you're given the opportunity by chance to accomplish this great thing. Has this conference met your expectations thus far?
Oh, not only has it met, I think it's completely exceeded all of our expectations. Between all the logistical planning as well as all the people that are here, you get to meet so many different people. You get a chance to interact with them personally. So this is just unbelievable. The experience and the feeling of accomplishment is just tremendous.
What message do you have to give to the younger generations to take a more active role within YJA?
I think a couple of our keynote speakers actually said it. We have very high standards, not only in the Jain community, but in the Indian community. And the resources and I guess the good fortune that we've all been given as young people, we need to really take that and we need to grow in our leadership ability, use those resources, and establish a good network of young leaders to take on the role that our parents as immigrants brought with them here and extend it to the next level so we can become that diaspora in the United States and in Canada as well that really leads the nation, whether it be politically, economically, financially, and of course in the business world.
Thank you. So what was your vision for the convention?
So some of our early thoughts were we really wanted to stress how important it is the Jain values. So we put a lot of emphasis on getting speakers outside of the Jain community to come in and talk about the principles of nonviolence in a way that the youth could understand at their level. Right? So the youth are into the modern culture. They need somebody from the modern culture to explain to them. So we brought in business leaders. We brought people who traditionally aren't from the Jain community, but could talk about how to incorporate nonviolence into various aspects of their life.
Do you feel that the speakers have met your expectations?
Absolutely, absolutely. The speakers are great because two things. Number one, we've gone younger in age group with speakers. So a lot of the speakers are hanging around in this area, talking to youth, networking with youth, so the youth don't feel that divide, that here's this older person who knows more than me about spirituality. It's really a person that they can see on their level. So the speakers have really come through for us in that sense.
So you feel that the YJA convention, apart from Jaina, is a good way to split up the youth?
Absolutely. It's a good way because of two things. When you're not in the context of being in the same hotel with your parents, yes, there's an opportunity for things to go wrong and a lot of kids to lose their attention or to do things that they wouldn't necessarily do when they're around with their parents. But there's also a context to grow and find yourself and your own voice. So it's nice because we keep the hotel room closed, we keep the hotel closed so that individuals are forced to bond, they're forced to network, and they can achieve and grow in a way that a lot of times parents have the best intentions for us, but they also hold on tight to us as well too. So this is an opportunity for the kids to grow on their own.
So what do you see some improvements for the YJA convention 2 years from now?
I think we'd like to increase our participants. We'd like to increase the participants who come from outside the Jain community, right? This year we've done a great job of having speakers who come outside the Jain community. We'd like to have participants who come outside of the Jain community as well too.
For your tax-free donations, suggestions and comments, please visit mangalamshow.com.
Having created memories that are life-altering. And we don't get paid for this, guys. We do it all because of the value we know it's going to bring to you. So please, find out more about the convention by going to the website, and if you can, and are in a position to, please register. Thank you, Jay Jeanette. The most fulfilling things from us as the organizers is seeing these faces, new faces come in Thursday afternoon from all over the world. 14 to 29-year-olds, a little nervous, a little anxious, a little excited, and a little curious as to how the weekend's going to turn out. And then seeing those same faces go through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, having met new friends, having discovered themselves newly, having really understood the essence and implementation of Jain philosophy, and having created memories that are life-altering. And we don't get paid for this, guys. We do it all because of the value we know it's going to bring to you. So please, find out more about the convention by going to the website, and if you can, and are in a position to, please register. Thank you, Jay Jeanette.
My name is Puna Maru. I'm a senior at Columbia University.
What is your involvement with the Jain community there at Columbia?
This year was the first year that I was on the board, and we had many activities that we did. As Shika mentioned, Chita Banuji came this year. We've had a Diwali dinner, and we also spread out to the community and did a lot of community service that we haven't done in the past, which was exciting, and I'm excited to start my last year in September with Ahimsa, and this year we're planning again to have Chitra Banuji come in. He was just a really inspirational speaker, and a lot of people, especially the non-Jains, came out to see it. We had a really great turnout for that. Diwali dinner is like one of our first events, besides recruiting new freshmen. And this year the board, again, is really big. There are about 20 students, and the majority of them are non-Jains. I think there are maybe 3 or 4 Jains on it, and they're really excited to start. So it'll be a really exciting year.
Could you reflect on what impact Ahimsa has had on the Columbia University campus?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Because we cut Jainism out of our courses, it used to be offered in the past, I think in the 1990s, and now it isn't offered anymore. So it's definitely a great way for people to learn about the religion. And more than just a religion, just a way of life. The Jain Dharma teaches that, and a lot of the class, especially the Hinduism teacher, he talks about Jainism for a couple of days during the semester. But again, the course was cut out, so this is definitely an outlook, and this is a way that we can reach the community. So, and just to teach them more about the Jain Dharma.
And to other universities that might be interested in starting an organization like this, do you have any advice?
Sure, you should definitely check with your university chaplain or ministry, and you can definitely start a Jain Club anywhere. We're actually working with Jain Vision 2020 to start maybe like a how-to guide of how to start a Jain Club in your university. And basically just, you know, if you file a constitution according to the rules and regulations of your particular university, it's really not that difficult, and it'll just be a great way of meeting new people and spreading nonviolence, the message of nonviolence, rather.
My name is Rohit Sodia. I'm from Edison, New Jersey, and I'm going into my junior year at Rutgers University.
Great. Well, Rohit, tell me a little bit about how you have been involved with Jainism.
My parents raised me with the core beliefs of Jainism since I was young, and so it started out as a sort of a debated part of my life, just something that I did because my parents said. But I guess as I grew up, it sort of became a part of my life that I accepted and learned to grow into. The core beliefs are something I think all humanity can live with, so it's something that I think transverses beyond just people, Jains, Indians, but into everybody.
Now tell me how you practice Jainism day to day.
My biggest thing is I try to practice ahimsa, nonviolence. Probably the toughest thing because around us all the time there are influences that could drive you to, get angry at somebody, want to hit somebody, whatever the case is. But trying to control yourself and make sure that you're in control of your actions is probably the biggest thing.
I've really gotten into the food aspect of Jainism. I mean, it's along with the ahimsa. So I now am a vegan and also raw foodist, so I don't eat any cooked foods or processed foods or any dairy products.
Hi, I'm Anshul Zoda. I'm 17 years old. I go to Brooklyn Technical High School. I live in New York and New York, Queens.
What about Jain Dharma do you find most useful in your life?
Well, for Jain Dharma, it's like an everyday thing for me. I mean, I believe in God, it's like every other religion, but I think the thing that I love about Jainism is it's like a fight between yourself every day. It's like, you have to fight, your greed, your anger, your jealousy, and it's like a human trait. Everyone has these things, and I think the greatest challenge is minimizing all of them. And I have these every day. I feel all these feelings, every different interactions. But I think the biggest thing is fighting these and minimizing them, and it's like just making yourself a better person.
What have you learned from your experiences here at the convention this weekend?
Well, I have to say the sessions were great. They made it modern, they made it great. But I think most motivational was one of the sessions I went to was powerful relationships or something, and I thought it was gonna be dumb at first. I mean, to be honest, I didn't like it at first. But then when I went to it, it was so inspirational because, the speaker talked about how there is no future and there is no past. There's only a present, and I think that was the most important because he says that most people live their life in the future, but I think that's kind of true because people should live their life in the present and do what's now instead of worrying about the future so much.
Okay. Are you part of a Jain Center in your hometown?
Yeah, it's in Elmhurst.
Can you describe some of your activities with your Jain Center?
Well, I go because I live 2 or 3 blocks away from it. I'm fortunate to live there, so I go and do puja probably on the weekend, and I participate. I used to participate when I was young in the dances they had. So I participated 5 or 6 years or more than that in dances.
Okay. And what challenges do you face in practicing Jainism in your daily life?
Well, I mean, the biggest challenge is the food and nutrition, because they I mean, in my opinion, they're kind of harsh. They're right, but they're harsh. Living here, it's kind of hard not to eat, all the things like potatoes, onions, and all those things they say they grow from the ground, and which I agree is not right. But I mean, honestly, it's hard for me to do that. So that's one thing I think is the hardest.
I hope you enjoyed our today's episode about YJA conventions. We urge all the parents to make sure their youngsters are registered for this convention, as it is going to be very educational for them. All the youngsters there, we tell you to come and join us for this convention. You will not be sorry. You will enjoy it. So I hope you do that as soon as possible. Until next episode, we take your leave now. We would like to hear about your comments and opinions. So please write to us at mangalamshow@gmail.com. Please also visit our website at www.mangalamshow.com. Thanks for joining today. Jai Jinendra.